Hello, grade 7. Welcome to our fourth quarter, week 3 lessons in Mapeh. Let's start with music. Let's talk about the musical contribution to the Philippine Festival's production. Festivals in the Philippines are an integral aspect of the local culture known for their grand and vibrant celebrations. No wonder each province has its own Filipino fiesta that they are very proud of. In every festival parade, participants play drums and other instruments in rhythmical patterns that serve as their musical during or as their music during processions and parades. So let us start with this festival, which is the mother of all festivals, and that is the Ati-Atihan Festival. It is came from Kalibo Aklan, which means make-believe atis. It is consists of a tribal dance parade with the use of drum music, and people cheer and shout Halabira and Viva Santo Niño to encourage enthusiasm and continuous dancing for the duration of the festivals. Next is the Kadayawan Festival, which is held in Davao. It is a Thanksgiving celebration for good harvest with parade floats of fresh flowers and fruits. And they also have street dancing with colorful tribal costumes and accessories. They used to be called as Apo Duwaling to promote Davao's famous icons such as the Mount Apo, which is the highest peak of the country, the Durian, which is the king of fruits, and their Waling Waling, which is the queen of orchids. What about in Moriones Festival? Moriones Festival is celebrated in Marinduque. This one is a reenactment of the story of Saint Longinus. It is colorful folk religious festival during Holy Week. And the Morions, who wear their costumes, scare the children away and court the ladies by singing and dancing for them. Next to that is the Sinulog Festival, which is held in Cebu. It is a religious festival held to honor their Santo Niño, and they have also different groups of dancers dressed in colorful attire and accompanied by rhythmic music of the following such as drums. They also use percussions, the trumpets, and native gongs. And the petitioners often yell out Pit, Senor. In Ibalon, which is held in Bicol, they aims to express friendliness, enthusiasm, and goodwill. And they celebrated this one to commemorate the three heroes, namely Baltog, Handyong, and Bantong. The people parade in the streets wearing masks and costumes like heroes and villains of the epic. And last, the Sublian, which is celebrated in Batangas. A subli is performed with chanting and accompanied by drums. Subli comes from two words. It means subsub, meaning bending your body forward or downward, and bali meaning broken. And the male dancers are in track forward bend position. So for your music activity, here's what you're going to do. For the activity 1, you are going to draw a blank map just like what you've seen on the picture on the right, the map or the blank map of the Philippines. Please draw just like this, and then you can use another sheet of paper to do this, and then locate the following places below. You're going to locate these places later after you have already the sketch of the Philippine map, and then indicate their geographical location and write their corresponding festival. So let's say for example, Cebu is on this part. Then what you're going to do is to write the Cebu, and then write also the specific festival that they are celebrating on that particular province. Alright, so that's how you're going to do the music activity 1. What about the music activity 2? In here, I will I will give you a video on our group chat. I'll just send the link later. And then this video is consists of a short documentary about one of the festivals in the Philippines. Please do watch the video and identify the musical characteristics and features of the festival. You can just go to this link for you to uh, lead on this video. Then after watching the video, I want you to please answer the following questions. First question is that what is the featured festival? You're just going to write in here the kind of festival that you've watched. Let's say, for example, you've watched a Kadayawan festival, then just write it here. And then you are also going to describe the following through distinguish characteristics. After watching the video, then please distinguish the characteristics that you've noticed on that particular festival. And then please do write also in here the instruments that they've used or that you've seen on the video. And what do you think would be the tempo of the music that they've used? Is it fast, moderate, or slow? And also the rhythm. What did you notice about the rhythm that they've used on that particular festival? Did they use a regular rhythm or it is irregular? So, and then after answering that, here is the last question. How did the music contributed to the performance of musical production? So, take note again, we have two activities for music. This one with a map, and on this one you're going to hear and watch a video, and then afterwards you are going to answer the following questions. Let us now proceed on arts. Here, um, the topic is the unique characteristics of Philippine festivals again, but this time we will just focus on the arts that they've used on the Philippine or on the particular Philippine festivals. Festivals are a great way to express or experience a particular region's unique culture. What readily catches your attention when you watch or attend a celebration of a festival are the costumes, colors, the sounds, forms, and the arrangement of the decorations that we see. So, through festivals, we express our thanksgiving and celebration of blessings from God. Other festivals are geared towards cultural preservation and tourism. So, let us start with Ati-Atihan Festival again. So, just like what I've said a while ago, we will just talk about the arts that they've used on this particular festival. So in Ati-Atihan Festival, aside from they are using or performing the upbeat tune of traditional dances and music, they've also shout out halabira. And aside from that, the participants imitate also the color of the itas and wear headpieces or the headdresses. So aside from they are wearing the headdresses, one of the extravagant or very different when it comes to Ati-Atihan Festival is when they are imitating the itas. They are putting some black colors from head to toe so that they can imitate the itas or the native people of Aklan. Next is in Sinulog Festival. In here, the Sinulog, in here the participants of the dance, the participants or the dancers of the Sinulog Festival are doing graceful dances because Sinulog means graceful dance. So, in here they are also doing some grand street parade, and also the participants wear brightly colored costumes. So, if you will notice in Ati-Atihan Festival, they are imitating the color of the itas, while in Sinulog Festival, the participants or the dancers are wearing brightly colored costumes. Next, in Moriones Festival. In here, the participants or the dancer wear costumes that look like Roman soldier of the biblical times. So it pays tribute to the Saint Longinus, He is a commander of the centurion of the Roman army who was blind in one eye. Next, the Mascara Festival. In here, the features of their street dance competition wherein the participants or the dancer also wear bright costumes with colorful and cheerful masks. So aside from wearing bright costumes, they also have cheerful masks that represents the message of happiness because Bacolod City is the city of smiles. Next, the Kadayawan Festival. In here, the participants or the dancers wear also colorful, but it is aligned with uh, it is aligned in a tribal costumes, and they are also using some accessories. Alright, so for your activity 1, you are going to answer this table wherein you are going to write the place and date of the particular Philippine festival which is indicated below. So, as you can see, we have already here an example in number 1. Please look at number 1, that is a Sinulog Festival. It is written also on the second column on where is the particular place and also when is the date of that celebration. And also on the third column, you are going to write the theme of that particular festival. So that's how you're going to do the activity number 1 in arts. On the column 2, just write the place and date of celebration, and on column 3, you are just going to write the theme of that particular festival. Next, for activity 2, you are going to compare the two drawings. On the left side, you will see that it looks like a head dress that's used in Mascara Festival. And also on the right, that is a mask which is used in Moriones Festival. So, I give already the answer. So, in here on this line, you are just going to write on what particular festival is it. And then, after that, you are going to color. To color this two mask. After giving the color, then you are going to use this Venn diagram to compare the two masks. Let's say, for example, how you're going to use this Venn diagram. On this part, the outer, you are going to write the difference between the two masks. Since the mascara headdress is on the left, you are going to write on this part the difference mascara of mascara headdress the on the mask of the Morions. So and then at the center you are going to write their compared or similarities. So let's say for example, since both of them are masks or used as a mask, then meaning their similarities is both of them, or you can write simply right here, both of them are mask. And on this part, on the outer, you are going to write the difference of mascara to the mask of Morion. Okay? So hopefully you will understand that. On our online class, we will further discuss also on how you are going to answer that activity number 2. Next, let's proceed on PE. PE, we are still here in Tinalobong dance skills in development, still in part 1. So, as I recall, Tinalobong is a favorite dance of the mountain people of the barrios of Panitan and Toclugan, Capiz. This is another Philippine dance named after a bird. The bird called Tolabong in the Capiz. So, the Visayan Islands is a species of heron with a long neck, long legs, a long tapering bill, and large wing and soft white feathers. So here's how you're here's how we how you going to do the introduction of the Tinalobong dance. So of course, when you are going to start doing the dance, it must have an introduction. So for the introduction, you will hear a music introduction wherein both partners will face the audience, just like this one. And then after that, you're going to do a 3-step turn right in place, and then arms down at sides. Hands are formed like bills of a bird, and then bills pointing downward. So that is one measure. Next, you're going to raise your left knee in front, and then place left foot in the rear and close to back or right knee, just like a bird when resting. Then bend the right arm out upward, and then bill pointing inward toward left inside, and then the left hand at the back below the waist, and then your bill pointing in rear. Then turn head to left, and then pose in this position. That is 1 meter again. So that is just only the introduction. And then here is the figure 1. So after doing the introduction, the figure 1 is that both partners need to face to each other, and then start with the right foot always. So for part 1, take 2 tinalobong steps forward to be in one line at center. So the boy behind the girl and both facing front. Do the hand movement as described above. Then pecking twice, and then turn your head to right and left side alternately throughout. It should be 2 meters only. Next, take 2 tinalobong steps forward going toward audience, and then do the same hand movements as in letter A. Letter C, turn right about. Take 4 tinalobong steps going away from audience, and then same hand movements as in letter A. And then for letter D, turn right about. Repeat letter C, going toward audience. And for letter E, turn right about. Take 2 tinalobong steps going away from audience, and then some hand movements as in letter A. And for letter F, face own place, and then take 2 tinalobong steps to proper places, and then same hand movements as in letter A again, and then turn right about after the second tinalobong step. So that would be the figure number 1 to make it more understandable and to make it more clearer for you on how to do the following steps, the introduction and then the figure 1. I will give you again a video on how you are going to do this dance, the introduction and then the figure 1. I'll just send the video on our GC. Okay? And then after watching the video of the performance, then of course you should perform also this one, the introduction and the figure 1. And then make sure that you have it recorded, and then using your cell phone or any gadget that you have, and then just send it to our just send it on my FB Messenger. I repeat, for your activity in PE, you're going to perform the introduction and then the figure 1 of Tinalobong dance. Just have a record of it and send it on my messenger. Next, for health, if you still remember, we've discussed about the non-communicable disease. And then this time, we will talk about the another types of non-communicable diseases. But before that, let us recall what a non-communicable disease is. This one or non-communicable diseases are not caused by pathogens or disease-causing organisms such as bacteria or viruses, but rather by how people live, by the conditions with which they are born, or by the hazards around them. It also includes diseases caused by a breakdown of the body tissues, poor diet, environmental and occupational hazards, stress, and tension. And one thing more that we need to know, a non-communicable disease cannot be transmitted from one person to another. So here are some of the non-communicable diseases. First one is the diabetes. But once we've said diabetes, it is a disease that prevents the body from converting food into energy. So the carbohydrates are normally changed into a simple sugar called glucose, which is a source of energy. And the insulin, which is the hormone produced in the pancreas, it regulates the level of the glucose in our body. So if you have a diabetes, what would be the signs and symptoms of it? If you have an increased thirst or always thirst, if you have a frequent urination, if you have an extreme hunger, unexplained weight loss, fatigue, irritability, blurred vision, and slow healing source. So, these are the following signs if you have a diabetes. Then, what are the possible complications if you have already this kind of disease? You can have a cardiovascular disease too. You can have a nerve damage, a kidney damage, an eye damage, foot damage, skin conditions, and maybe you can also have a hearing impairment. So, aside from the diabetes, we also have another non-communicable disease, which is the arthritis. Once we've said arthritis, it refers to the inflammation of the joints. It usually occurs during old age. So, we have two types of arthritis. First one is the rheumatoid, and then the other one is the osteoarthritis. Once we've said rheumatoid arthritis, it causes pain and swelling in many joints throughout the body. It is an autoimmune disease which happens when the body's immune system attacks healthy cells by mistakes. And osteoporosis is a disease of the older age. Next, what would be the signs and symptoms of this kind of non-communicable disease? We can say that you have already an arthritis if you notice and experience the following: if you have a joint pain, tenderness and stiffness, if you have inflammation in and around the joints, if you have restricted movement of the joints, if you have a worn red skin over the affected joints, and if you have a weakness and muscle wasting. So what are the possible complications if you have already an arthritis? Then you can have an osteoporosis. You can also have a rheumatoid nodules, dry eyes and mouth infections, carpal tunnel syndrome, and maybe somehow you can have a heart problems. So next to that is the renal failure. It is a medical condition in which your kidneys fail to adequately filter wastes from your blood. So, renal failure is also called as the kidney failure. So, here are the signs and symptoms of renal or kidney failure. First one, you can have a decreased urine output, although occasionally urine output remains normal. And then you will having also a fluid retention, causing swelling in your legs, ankles and feet. And you can also have a shortness of breath, nausea and weakness. So what will be the possible complications if you have a renal failure? You can have fluid build up in the lungs. You can also have a chest pain, a muscle weakness, a permanent kidney damage, and one of the saddest part is death. Alright? So, for your activity number 1 in here, we have here 5 items only. You are just going to write D or capital letter D on the space provided if the description talks about the diabetes. Now, if it is about arthritis, just write capital letter A. And if it is regards with the renal failure, just write RF. And then write your answer on the blank before the number. So for number 1, it refers to the inflammation of the joints and usually occurs during old age. What kind of non-communicable disease is that? Number 2, it is a disease that prevents the body from converting food into energy. What kind of disease is that? 3. It is a condition in which a person is experiencing sudden weight loss, excessive thirst, and lack of energy. Fourth, this is detected by a decrease in or absence of urine production. And last, it is mainly determined by a decrease in a glomer- glomer- glomerular filtration rate, the rate at which blood is filtered in the glomeruli of the kidney. So, that is very simple. And for the activity number 2, you are just going to complete this table. Just fill in the table below with appropriate information about the diabetes, arthritis, and renal failure. So we have here 4 columns. On the first column, these are the non-communicable diseases that given a while ago, and then just put in here the causes of those non-communicable disease, and also the signs and symptoms of the following disease. So that's how you are going to do your week 3 lessons. Please just send your answers on my FB Messenger. So that would be for today. Thank you for listening. Please do not forget to like and subscribe on this channel. Bye!